All right, we're now going to bring you more news on this developing story. Iran's Foreign Minister Hossein Amirabdollahian is starting a regional tour as we speak. He's going to be visiting Lebanon in just a few hours from now. He's also going to be visiting Iraq. This is a regional tour to discuss the Israeli-Palestinian conflict, according to a readout provided by an official agency. We'll bring you more context on this. Iran's ambassador in Lebanon has apparently said these movements are very much in light of the current conflict in the Middle East. We'll share more in terms of details with you in just a second. We are learning, though, that Iran's foreign minister will be traveling to Iraq and Lebanon. Remember, there has been missile exchange between Lebanon and parts of Israel too. Early over the weekend on Sunday morning, we reported for you that the Hezbollah, which is an outfit within Lebanon, had claimed that they had fired missiles into northern Israel. Israel had responded to that, and we brought you visuals of that over the last few hours too. Now we're going to bring you more context on the developments as they're expected to play out through the day today. Right now, we're also going to bring you more context on the foreign minister's visit. In just a second, we'll have a reporter joining us to bring us that context. Iran's foreign minister, this is Hossein Amirabdollahian, announcing he'll be starting a regional tour on Thursday to discuss this. Now, my colleague Abhishek is with us on the phone. Abhishek has been reporting live to us from the ground in Tel Aviv through the day today. Let's connect with him to understand more. Abhishek, take our audiences back to understand here why it is that the Iranian foreign minister is starting a regional tour. He is visiting Iraq and Lebanon. Those two countries are confirmed. What is their importance in this dynamic? Please bring our audiences that context.
So, the entire, the region, Israel or the, neighboring countries, they have all been very tense. And in the wake of Israel alleging that Lebanese government are backing Hezbollah fighters who are, pounding rockets on the northern part of Israel, it becomes really important which all countries are standing on which side. Iranian side has been, blamed for all the backing, political, ammunition, financial, training, every kind of support that the Hamas militant have got in the past. And Hamas fraction of some certain elements of these anti-Israeli militias live in, Lebanon also. Some of them live in Syria. Some of them are also in parts of Iraq. So whether Iranian foreign minister's visit in these regions is going to be kind of shore up support, anti-Israel support, or is he going to ensure that a peace process continues, or the escalation that has already been there would not reach to a stage where multiple countries get dragged into this war? So we'll have to see what kind of negotiations, what kind of talks Iranian ministers will have with these parts, because Iran does hold sway on these countries, these smaller nations which are surrounding Israel and which are kind of very anti-Israel also. So in that context, his visit is important, both for the prospect of a peace also, or whether it is going to be a further escalation in the situation which is right now.
Okay, Abhishek, we will return to you to understand this entire story in more context. Right now, though, I just want to take our audiences over to what it is that the international spokesperson for the Israel Defense Forces, Jonathan Conricus, had to say. Take a look.
Earlier today, many international journalists were given a unique opportunity to see, experience, and tell the world some of the atrocities that Hamas inflicted on Israeli civilians. Yesterday, it was a community called Nahal Oz. Today, international media visited Be'eri. Kibbutz Be'eri, this is the Gaza Strip here, as I'm sure you're all too familiar. If we zoom in closer, we can see that if we zoom in and see the distance between the Gaza Strip here, the border, and our fence, and then we have Kibbutz Be'eri here. So quite the distance, not at all the closest community. Nahal Oz and Kfar Aza were much closer, but definitely one of the communities that was close. And today, I'll zoom in on the community itself. You can see the lush green trees, the grass, and the nice houses and agricultural areas. Unfortunately, that is no longer how Kibbutz Be'eri looks. And if you want to see footage of how it looks inside, I suggest to watch Fox coverage or I-24 or many of the other international media that were given specific access to this to show what this area looks like after Hamas terrorists went in and butchered Israeli civilians, and after Israeli troops got in there and fought and killed all of the terrorists that made it in. The scenes are out of a zombie movie. It's a war zone. And I've heard a seasoned war correspondent who, after walking there, described it as the worst thing he has ever seen. Nothing less. And that should tell you something how horrific the scenes were. So out of 1,000 people, Israelis who lived in this beautiful community, more than 100 were killed. And today the body bags, many body bags were evacuated from that kibbutz, including those of children and including those of babies. And we got very, very disturbing reports of that came from the ground that there were babies that had been beheaded. And I admit it took us some time to really understand and to verify that report. And it was hard to believe that even Hamas could perform such a barbaric act.